Comic-Con been treating you?
Well, we literally arrived yesterday, and we've just. This is our first time here today, and then I think we're only here today. We're doing kind of DVD extras and stuff for Funimation and some other stuff. So, and we did a little signing with Jane on music last night. So.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard about it. She could have made that.
Yeah, it was good.
Are we going to see Vex play a little bit of a bigger role in the upcoming season?
Yeah, we are. We get this season. You get to learn a lot more about Vex, which is awesome. I mean, because he went away at 3-3 and came back right at the end there in the finale. But he's banging there straight away in episode 401 in a big way, in that crazy episode that is 401. That's just sort of blow everyone away, that one. I mean, it's mental. Mm-hmm. It's mental. The whole world is just turned upside down. And it's one of those that people are going to go, I didn't expect that to happen, which is super cool. And Vex is really big in that. And then we really start to strip layers away from Vex a bit this year. So he gets put under a lot of pressure, and we find out stuff about his backstory. So we learn a lot about Vex in terms of who he is, and maybe what made that person that we discovered in 108 when he's into the story, and he's a favourite of the dark, and it's kind of that kind of jester assassin kind of thing going on. Of the dark, so we find out what made that person, and it's really interesting then to see how he deals with that. Because he's been humanised by Bo and Kenzie, particularly by Kenzie. He's got this affinity, and that affinity that he has with them is a connection that's related to his past. So that's why he starts to get in a really interesting place of choice and discovery, and really facing up to who he is and what he wants to do and how he will continue. So it's all of the characters this season get into those spaces. So all the characters are put to the forefront, and we learn a lot about them. There's less of the sort of Fae of the Week type stuff, and there's more progression of the characters in the story and Bo's overall arc. Because it's all about Bo and her journey, and you're figuring out how everyone's connected to that now. And her journey is related to the past, present, and the future, and all of the characters are involved in that. So this season is great. It's really big, it's really bold. It starts off wacky, and then descends into an absolute pit of burning despair.
That's amazing.
It gets dark. I think the show is alluded to saying that we're going to go dark a bit, and we're going to get a bit of dark Bo or whatever. But no, this season is going to really kind of delve into the depths of despair for a few episodes, and the journey itself is pretty dark. And the Fae it's not a pretty culture either, I mean, if you think about it, they kill somebody at the end of every episode usually. Somebody dies at the beginning and somebody dies at the end. And, it's all about survival for that species, so which is interesting. And Bo's, within this journey, but her choice is, do you want to live like the Fae? It's her bloodline. She is part of that. So that is her struggle, and that's where it's all about. This Fae mythology. It's all about these bloodlines and being tied to laws and rules and whatnot, which is what we find out in 4. There's a lot of the overall structure of the world and of the mythology and all of the Fae that live within it, between light and dark, and how that really is structured, and how those laws are policed in some sense. And we find out, in the webisodes that are out tomorrow. I'm not sure what the first one is, but there's 4 webisodes, and they tie in what happened from 3 to 401. And you learn about the Unimals, like the big. They're like a big bad, but it's just this thing that everybody has to deal with, and it's throughout 4. That's really interesting, and they're really quite nasty.
And they are a potential danger to the dark and the light?
Oh yeah, they.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's all about that structure of the world, and they sort of come down on the light and the dark in this particular part of the Fae world. And in between, yeah, it's fun. Every episode deals with their coming on. One episode is just entirely me, and it's almost like the spin-off series without having a spin-off series. Do you know what I mean? It's all those characters that a lot of the fans like that, maybe you can't really see too much of sometimes in the overall season because there's so many characters now. I think we're up to like 9 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So Tamsin, has been added as well. She's an amazing character. So everybody is part of that journey and needs their story told. So now the webisodes is a good way of like, all right, let's spend 6-7 minutes with Vex and only Vex, and what would that be like? And it's actually quite hilarious, as you would imagine. So and then there's like Kenzie and Bruce. There's like Trick and Kale.
More Bruce.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, and there's Bruce is in the season. He's in it a few times as well. So he's in it a bit as well.
That's cool.
Like we all are, and we're all dealing with this world. So it's fun. And then if we get a 5 and we go to 5, that's going to be really interesting. Where we go to then.
What have you enjoyed most about playing Vex so far?
Well, to begin with, I mean, he was such a fun character. I mean, and rarely do you ever get a character like that to play. They're pretty few and far between on television, I would say, by and large. He wears leather, he's crazy, so it takes a piece out of people, all those kind of things. So that was fun, but what's really fun now is giving a lot of meaning and discovery to the character of Vex himself, and actually, being able to really do some great acting as well. We've been given some good stuff. Some of the writing's been awesome this year. So as actors and taking the characters into a deeper journey has been really fun, while holding on to all that kind of crazy fun stuff. And blending that in now with getting to know these people, and some of it's emotional and some of it's hard, and they all come from tough stories. That's been amazing. That's what I'm really enjoying at the moment, is finding the balance between all of those, while not losing any of that crazy fun Vex that I love. The way he just observes everything and just says it as it is. But at the same time being put under pressure as a Fae character.
Yeah, Vex was always kind of one of those fan favorites that you didn't. Every time he was on screen, you savored every moment. So, just how much were you aware of kind of the fan reception to Vex, like when you were just having like the odd little performance here and there?
Yeah.
Like,
you can't do well as he was written.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I always talk about this, but I mean, as he was originally written, it would have been hard to have him in all the time. I just think it would have been too much.
Yeah.
And there wasn't enough space at that point in the story to give context to him, so that we can build his character and flesh him out.
Yeah.
So coming in on a big burst, at the end of 2 and then the beginning of 3, he was in it actually in a good chunk of nearly 6 episodes where he was in it a lot, where everyone got to know him. And then I was like, we've got to take him away now.
Yeah.
And then if we take him away, then we can bring him back, and then we can really start to do interesting stuff. Because now he's back, we really want him back, and now we can really give people interesting things with him. Like 1 is crazy, 401 is a crazy episode. But then 2 onwards is, and then we take him into interesting places. But it was necessary. Because you know what I mean, those characters, that they're great, fun, and all of a sudden they're overused.
Right.
And you can't develop them in the right way, or it's forced, and you go, no, I don't believe it. But I think I truly feel that the way that we've done it, especially in 4, I think it's believable, and I think it's emotional, and I think it makes Vex like that now. So we can really see who he is, and we can delve into that.
So even though the fans wanted more Vex, it was best to hold it back for a while.
Yeah, I was was going to ask a similar question.
Yeah.
And I
Like,
think,
whose decision was it to pull back a little on?
well, I'm sure it's the production company, the writers, ultimately. But we do have meetings before every season, and that has always been my thing. I mean, of course, I wanted to be in it more. Every actor always wants to be acting more and a character in it more. Slowly catch a monkey, and now we're in 4 and it's good. And if we get a 5, I think we could really take Vex to some really cool, interesting places. He's a really great character now, and I think people love and hate him. And now I think people in 4 will find out why they love him, maybe, and then maybe they'll go back to hating him in 5 because I don't know where he's going to be in 5. He's going to be pretty. So yeah, those are my kind of teasers, I guess. And for everybody, fans are going to be in a really fluctuated place coming in before, trust me.
Do you still get excited when you get scripts from like?
I always get excited. I like to know what they do. They don't really tell us a lot. They may be an episode or 2 before they might give us a hint of what's coming, but I tend to find out as the scripts come, which is exciting. And it all happens pretty quickly. Choices pretty quickly, but they do kind of tell you the overall a little bit. They tell you how it's going to go, but that changes a lot. And there's so many kind of shocks and turns that happen forward that I was like, that all of us were like. So I don't think the show has had any of the moments that you're going to get, and there's quite a few of them, real ones.
Oh.
It's for reals. Yeah.